Hello and welcome to another Magic the Gathering video. So in this video we're going to be opening the second of two lots of Champions of Kamigawa packs. If you want a bit of a background to this or want to see the previous opening of the first lot that I had of the Champions of Kamigawa packs, then have a look at the previous two videos on my channel, and that offers some explanation as to where these packs came from, and also you get to see the opening of the first lot, which has some interesting pulls in it. So here we go, let's open these packs up. So we have a tournament pack from Champions and a couple of boosters. So let's see what we can pull in this. All nicely sealed up. Let's just get this open. It was easier said than done. So I think in the previous pack, our first card was a foil land card. So I think what they must be doing with these tournament packs, it's always interesting when you sort of open these cold to see. So previous packs I opened, or previous tournament pack, had a foil island. So this has got a foil waking nightmare. So 2 and a black, sorcery arcane, target player discards 2 cards. And then what happens is we go on to the actual basic lands here. So just for the benefit of anybody that hasn't watched the previous video, in a tournament pack you get a reasonable supply of land. I think you get about 20 lands, something like that. So it's equivalent to about 3 packs of boosters, which is what, about 45 cards, somewhere thereabout. Might be slightly different. You do get 3 rares in here, but then the rest of the 75 is made up with basic lands. So if we start off, we have that Waking Nightmare, and I'm just going to flick through these basic lands again. So if you've not seen Champions of Kamigawa artwork on the basic lands, you can get to sort of appreciate that. Pretty nice artwork. That's pretty cool. That would look good foiled. You almost need like a magnifying glass to see some of the detail on this. Really enjoy it. Oops. So I looked at this in the other pack opening that I did for Champions. Basically it's sort of very large cheat sheet for the mechanics. So we've got splicing onto arcane and soul shift, and then on the other side a little bit about Bushido and vigilance. And the other thing, around that time they changed the legend rule, which has obviously subsequently been changed probably a couple of times now. So there's a little bit in there about that. So we'll just go through this in the order it falls. So that'll mean the rares first for this particular pack. So we've got Cranial Extraction, 3 in a black, Sorcery Arcane. Name a non-land card. Search target player's graveyard, hand and library for all cards with that name and remove them from the game. Then that player shuffles his or her library. So, a great way of getting rid of combo pieces. Kodama of the South Tree, 2 and 2 green, legendary creature spirit. Whenever you play a spirit or arcane spell, each other creature you control gets +1/+1 against trample until end of turn, and that's a 4/4. And we have one of the dragon spirits from the set, Rosai, the Falling Star, 5 and a red, legendary creature dragon spirits, 5/5 with flying. When Rosai, the Falling Star, is put into a graveyard from play, it deals 5 damage to each creature without flying. And then moving on to our uncommons, we've got Only Possession in here. Aura of Domination. Cut the Tethers. The set had a spirit theme in it. Cloudcrest Lake. So there was a series of, I think one of the terms for this is slow lands, but correct me if I'm wrong on that. So Cloudcrest Lake, you tapped, add colourless to your mana pool, and tap, add white or blue to your mana pool. Cloudcrest Lake doesn't untap during your next untap step. Student of Elements. So the set had these cards here. So basically you had Student of Elements. When Student of Elements has flying, flip it. So these were flip cards, and then when you flip them, creatures, it's got Tabita, Master of Winds, which is a legendary creature, human wizard, and creatures you control have flying. And we've got Bloodthirsty Ogre, Sideswipe. There was an arcane theme in the deck. You may change any target arcane spell. So you'll see several of things like instants and sorceries had a subtype of arcane on them. Sorotami Seer, Hoden of Seeing Winds, Blind with Anger. Got a Pull Under here, instant arcane spell. Cage of Hands. So we've now moved on to our commons. Kami of the Fire's Roar, Teller of Tales, Kodama's Might, Ren's Spirit, Kitsune Riftwalker. It's got protection from spirits and from arcane. Venerable Kumo. So there was Soul Shift in the set. So this particular creature, in addition to having the ability that Venerable Kumo may block as though it had flying, there's a Soul Shift on here, which in this case, when this is put into a graveyard from play, you may return target spirit card with converted mana cost 4 or less from your graveyard to your hand. So that's Soul Shift 4. Cruel Deceiver, Kitsune Healer, Yamabushi's Storm, Sift Through Sands, another instant arcane. So this card, I think I opened one of these in the previous video, specifically mentions a combo of cards that is in this set. So firstly we've got draw 2 cards, then discard a card, fairly straightforward, and then we've got the second part here which mentions this. So if you played a spell named Peer Through Depths and a spell named Reach Through Mists this turn, you may search your library for a card named the Unspeakable, which is a legendary creature. Put it into play, then shuffle your library. And I pulled, I think, Unspeakable in the previous pack openings. Kashi Tribe Warriors. Gibbering Camry. Kabuto Moth. Soul of Magma. So another card that cares about spirits or arcane spells. Council of the Saratami. It's a card draw for 2 and a blue. Burgrafter has Soul Shift 3 on it. Scuttling Death has Soul Shift 4. Indomitable Will. There's an enchantment theme in this particular set. Uncontrollable Anger. Saratami Cloud Skater. Ragged Veins. Terashi's Cry. Battle Mad Ronin, which has Bushido 2 on it. So with Bushido 2, when this blocks or becomes blocked, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So we've got combat shenanigans going on there. Peer Through Depths, we mentioned that earlier. Dripping Tongue Zabira. Death Curse Ogre. And Vigilance. Aki Rock Speaker. Psychic Puppetry, which has Splice onto Arcane in it for a single blue. So this is 1 and a blue to cast, and for a single blue, as you play an arcane spell, you may reveal this card from your hand and pay its Splice cost. If you do, add this card's effect to that spell. Now, one thing I've noticed with this Splice onto Arcane is a lot of the time the Splice onto Arcane casting cost is the same as the casting cost of the card without the Splice. This is one where that's not the case, so I'm not sure how widespread that is in the set, but yeah, certainly that's one of few that I've seen when I've been opening these. So let's move on to the boosters. Okay, so Kenzen Bruiser with Mountain Walk on it. See, there's quite a few ogres in the set. Hisoka's Guard, Serpent Skin, enchant creature which you can play as an instant. Nezumi Ronin, which has Bushido 1 on it. 100 Talon Kami, Flying and Soul Shift 4. Psychic Puppetry. Orochi Leaf Cooler. Kitsune Riftwalker. Ronin Houndmaster with Haste and Bushido 1. Mystic Restraints. Another enchant creature you can play anytime you could play an instant. Sideswipe, which allows you to change the targets of arcane spells. So moving on to our uncommons. Another one of these slow lands, Lantern Lit Graveyard. These were all at uncommon rarity. Tap add colourless to your mana pool. Tap add black or red to your mana pool. Lantern Lit Graveyard doesn't untap during your next untap step. Clean Fall. And our rare is Kuru Pitlord. So 6 and 3 black. For a 9/9 legendary creature Demon Spirit. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Kuro Pitlord unless you pay 4 black. Pay 1 life, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. And we have a foil in here at common. Silent Chant Zubira. One and a white creature Zubira spirit. When Silent Chant Zubira is put into a graveyard from play, you gain 2 life for each Zubira put into a graveyard from play this turn. So these Zubiras were a thing in the set. And again, just looking to see what was replaced by that particular foil. And it is at common, so I would suspect one of our commons has been replaced with that. Yes, the other thing to note is here is because we're not getting land in the boosters, it's a 15 card booster, so you'd actually have 11 commons normally, and we've only got 10 here, so that's something else to remember. If you hadn't seen my earlier videos mentioning about the sort of proportions in packs have changed over Magic's history. And at this point in time there was no basic lands in the pack, also no promo cards or tokens, which is normally the 16th card is the promo card or token. But normally one of the 15 currently, if you open up boosters today, is going to be a basic land, and at this point that wasn't a thing, and so you had an extra common. Cruel Deceiver, Kitsune Healer, Yamabushi's Storm, Sift Through Sands, so we had one of these earlier, Kashi Tribe Warriors, Jukai Messenger, just got Forest Walk on it, Death Curse Ogre, so another ogre here. When Death Curse Ogre is put into a graveyard and play, each player loses 3 life. Silent Chant Zubira, Befouls in the set, so that's 2 and 2 black, destroy target land or non-black creature, it can't be regenerated. I think I mentioned that Befouls, a card way back when I did a series about a no land, no hand deck, and we looked at various targeted removal spells through Magic's history that specifically target land. The cool with this one, it's obviously slightly, I'm even trying to think what the casting cost on Stone Rain is, it's gone, but the nice thing with this is it targets both land and non-black creatures, and if it's a creature, it can't be regenerated. Kitsune Riftwalker, Frost Wielder. Moving on to our uncommons, we've got Reciprocate. Remove from the game target creature that dealt damage to you this turn. Single white, instant speed. 9-ring bow. Very interesting artifacts in here. 3 to cast artifact. Tap 9-ring bow, deals 1 damage to target spirit. If that creature would be put into a graveyard this turn, remove it from the game instead. Guardian of Solitude. 1 and a blue. Creature spirit, whenever you play a spirit or arcane spell, target creature gains flying until end of turn. And our rare is Time Stop. So 4 and 2 blue, instant, end of turn. So it just offers a bit more explanation to what happens when you end the turn. So remove all spells and abilities on the stack from the game, including this card. The player whose turn it is discards down to his or her maximum hand size. Damage wears off, and this turn and until end of turn effects end. And there we have it. So that's our pack openings for the tournament pack and a couple of boosters I had for Champions of Kamigawa. I hope you've enjoyed that. It's always interesting to see cards from Magic's history. I didn't have my iPad with me at the moment, so I wasn't sort of distracted by looking up prices on cards. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I suppose that way we tend to just focus on the actual cards themselves rather than the prices. And as I mentioned also in the tournament pack, you get that sort of nice little description of the mechanics and abilities that are part of the set. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.